Watch me open my brain and show you how a good reader uses text features to locate information efficiently. Now, I know we've been practicing this objective for a few days now, and you're probably a great expert at using text features to locate information efficiently, but I thought I would show you one more time how we do this. Remember that when we are using text features to locate information efficiently, we have 4 thinking steps. Now, our thinking steps are step 1, read the question about the text. Step 2, circle keywords that will help you find the answer. Step 3, scan the text features for those keywords and images. And step 4, read near the text feature to answer our question. So let's take a look at in depth about what these steps actually need us to do. So step 1 is really simple. We're just going to read the question about the text. Then we move on to step 2, which asks us to circle the keywords that can help you find the answer. Those keywords are going to be important details about the question topic, or sometimes synonyms or words that mean the same thing for these important details. And these keywords are meant to help you find the correct answer. So it's important that we are circling some key details in the question. Once we have done that, sorry, did not mean to make myself big. Once we have we have circled our key words in the question, we are going to scan text features for the keywords and images. So you're going back into the text and see if you can find the words you circled. Sometimes you'll find them in the text, but other times you'll find them in the text features. Remember, text features are things like headings and subheadings, captions and labels and sidebars and text boxes, or graphics and visuals like illustrations and photographs. And once you've found your text features, you're going to read around it. Read the sentences before, the sentences after. Sometimes they will give you all of the information you need to be able to answer your question. So let's go ahead and practice it. Let's read or take a look at the question we will be answering. This question is, why did the author include the visual of the Titanic on page 20 to 21? What does the visual teach the reader? So this is a 2-part question. There are 2 questions in the questions, but that's okay. We are going to read the question one more time for step 1. Why did the author include the visual of the Titanic on pages 20 to 21? What does the visual teach the reader? So we did step 1, and now we can do step 2 and circle some keywords. I've gone ahead and circled some of our keywords. I circled the word visual because it lets me know that I am looking for a text feature. Remember, visual means an image, like an illustration or a photograph. So I am looking for an illustration or a photograph. I also circled the Titanic because we need an image or photograph of the Titanic. If we see an illustration or a photograph of a person or maybe of an item, we know we are looking at the wrong image. I've also circled 20 to 21 because it is telling me where in the book I need to look for this image. And then again, I circled the word visual because we are talking about an image. And I circled the word teach. We need to know what we learn from this visual. Now, this question sounds kind of like a question that is going to make me think. Now, the answers in the text is not going to be exactly in the text. I need to go into the text and think about my answer. So it's not going to tell me, this teaches the reader blank. I need to think about what I am seeing to help me come up with an answer. So sometimes we're going to see questions that require us to think a little bit more about what we read, but that is okay. We can use our thinking steps to find clues and then think about what we are learning from them. So now that we know what our keywords are and that this question is going to require us to think a little bit, let's try to find our keywords in the passage. We are on pages 20 and 21, which was one of our key words in the question. And I have circled both visuals. I have a visual of the Titanic and then a visual right here. Remember that we wanted a visual of the Titanic, and this one isn't a picture of the Titanic, but it tells me that these are the lifeboats from the Titanic. And we have seen the Titanic, and now that we have circled all of our keywords, we can do step 4. And step 4 asks us to read near the text feature. So that means read before and read a little bit after to try to get more information. So let's go ahead and read around the text features. The crew lowers the first lifeboat 60 feet down to the ocean. This sounds like the picture is all about the lifeboat and how they are going down into the ocean, and it makes sense. If you take a look at the illustration here, or the photograph, the lifeboats are going down into the ocean. Now let's read near the other illustration here, the photograph. Sorry, not the illustration, the photograph. It says lifeboats. The Titanic had 20 lifeboats. The Davids could have held an extra 16 lifeboats, but the owners did not want the decks to look crowded. So it sounds to me like the Titanic had lifeboats, 20 lifeboats to be exact, and it used them to lower down into the ocean. We learned that here in this sentence. And we also learned where they are. They were on the deck of the Titanic. So I think we're now ready to answer our question. Remember, our question said, why did the author include the visual of the Titanic on pages 20 and 21? And what does it teach the reader? To me, it looks like the author included these pictures to show us what a lifeboat looks like, where the lifeboat was. I mean, take a look. It's telling us where it was in the Titanic, and it's also telling us what it was used for. It was used to lower people down into the ocean. So I think we're ready to answer our question. The author included this picture to show exactly where the lifeboats were on the Titanic. They were right here. And the visual teaches us, the readers, where the lifeboats were kept, how many there were, and what kind of lifeboats were there.